This is a line set system for flying scenery in and out on stage. This is the operating lines over here. On the auditorium stage, we have 45 of them. Depending on what stage you're on, it may look a little bit different. This is a single purchase system, which means that the amount of weight that we have here has to equal the amount of weight of the scenery that is on the stage. The system, on this system, this is called the arbor, where the weights are. The batten is the pipe that you attach your scenery to, and that's what is over the stage. From the arbor, you have lines that will go up, all the way up to the grid, all the way at the top of the building. They then go out all the way onto the stage, and they have pulley blocks that are over the stage, which then come down and attach to the pipe, and that's where you attach your scenery. The line set system is very easily operated. This is your locking brake. What you will do is you will hold both lines together. You will release the ring from the locking brake, and then when you undo the brake, it allows you to then move the rope in and out. If you pull on the front line, then the scenery on stage flies in or comes down to the deck. If you pull on the back line, the scenery flies out. When you're operating the line, we will indicate where to stop with a spike mark. This one happens to be red. It could be different colors for different heights. When you're operating the line and your spike mark is coming into view, you'll put your hand right over the top of the spike mark and you'll bring it down until it stops right at the top of the brake. Then you'll lock the line and you'll put your ring back on. That locks the system and keeps the set where it's supposed to be. So this is the batten. This is what you attach your scenery to. The batten is an 1.5" Schedule 40 pipe. It runs the entire length of the stage. For the Fairchild, these are 50 feet long. It'll depend on the size of the proscenium on how far these go off stage. This is the cable that comes from the arbor. The cable is normally finished with a Nico press, which is a compression sleeve that joins the ends of the cable together. From there you have a chain that comes down. This is a trim chain. It wraps around the pipe and comes back up to a shackle. This is here so that when you're manufacturing the cable might be slightly different lengths, and this trim chain allows you to make sure that the pipe stays even all the way across the stage. So this is your arbor. The weight that is on it is called a stage weight. They're specifically made to fit onto these arbors. On the top of the arbor, you have a retaining plate. These little ringlets have thumb screws on them, and you'll loosen those up when you want to remove or put on a brick. Generally, these are held up by a clip, and then you can remove the bricks. Now there are full bricks and there are half bricks. The weight depends on the size of the brick, the thickness, and the width of the brick. All theaters will have a sign that say how much each of the bricks weigh. When you're loading and unloading bricks, you'll be at the loading rail, which is at the top of the arbor system or the flying system. The person that is controlling the rail will tell you how much to put on. They will generally call it out in bricks, not in weight. They will say, please add 5 full bricks. Or they may say, add 2 full and 1/2 bricks. At that point, you will unlock the plate, you'll lift it up, and you'll generally have a clip that'll hold it up. Once you do that, you will then call loading weight. That lets everyone on the stage know that you are adjusting the weight on the arbor. Once you have everything loaded, you'll put the plate back down, secure it, and say, weight loaded. And then from there, they will test it and see if it's in balance. During a load-in, there will be someone that is assigned to the rail to operate the rail. Normally that is someone who is very experienced in it and would be one of the head crew members. When you are in a load-in situation, there will be a lot of people on stage and a lot of noise happening. The person who is running the rail, when they're ready to bring a pipe in, will say, line set 35 coming in. And they will wait for a response from the people on stage to say, thank you 35, or thank you, just some kind of response to acknowledge that they heard that it was coming in. Then they will start to actually run the rail in. And it'll be down. When they are ready they will lock it and you will load whatever the curtains or the scenery is that is on it. When you're on stage, there's a lot of things going on during a load-in. Pipes flying in and out is one of those, and you have to be aware of what's going on around you. These are steel. If they hit you in the head, they're going to give you a huge lump, if not knock you unconscious. So always be aware of what's going on. When the rail person calls out a line set and says that they're bringing it in, always respond so that you know where it is, and look up above you so you make sure that you're not underneath it.
You start here, cross over to make an X. In this space here, pull your lead through, clove-hitch. You would use a clove-hitch ideally for something that's round, but you can also use it for something that's square. It's good for a quick knot when you have to raise something into the grid, or temporary lashings, because the knot is easily comes undone. It's not particularly good for something that's heavy and load-bearing, because the knot can slip. You can strengthen it by doing an extra loop like that. Now that we have the clove hitch that's anchored to a point, we're going to do a bowline. So with your right hand, take your lead, and this would be your anchored point. You cross over and pull up and make a loop. Go through the loop and around the anchored line and back through the hole. There's your bowline. A bowline is a rated knot, so it's going to take a lot of weight and it's not going to slip around on you. So this again could be used to tie something to raise up into the grid, or something heavy that needs to be suspended in the air.